Cody is pretty good mechanically. I think I'd be more impressed if he had like developed faster, but I haven't seen much. Like when like season, I think it might have been season 7 came, I took a break for Cody's first split and I came back in Summer Split and played against him and I thought, wow, he could be really good. He's kind of like a no-name player, but I can see potential in him. And that was season 7. Now it's like season 9 Summer Split. I'm really like, I'm like waiting for him to kind of like level up, but he never did. But I still think he's good overall. I just don't think he's ever been like the best or very close to that.
Well, I love watching Doublelift try and give compliments.
Yeah.
He's like, I thought he was going to be good, but...
He comes out, presents you with something nice, but that backhand is always right there, ready to be used. Thank you, though, for making it back here as we see Team Liquid and Clutch Gaming facing off. I'm Clayton Captain Flowers Reigns, joined by Mr. Sam Kobe Hartman Kinsler here for our next bout. And let's go ahead and get right into it. Taking a look at the players competing here for game number 4. On the blue side, it's Team Liquid with Impact in the top lane, Xmithie in the jungle, Jensen at mid with Doublelift and CoreJJ bottom and support, and coaches Kane and Dodo.
Opposing them on the red side, it will be Clutch Gaming. In the top lane, Huni. Jungle, Lira. Mid, Damonte. Bottom, Cody Sun. Support, Vulcan. And coaches FLICKR and Artemis on stage.
Now, Clutch Gaming are coming into this one with a little bit more relief as they broke a 4-game losing streak last week off the back of Damonte playing Qiyana.
And honestly, I thought that was a huge game for this team. That was Damonte's second shot with the Qiyana, performed much better, 8-1 and 7. Absolutely destroyed that game. I really do want this team to continue experimenting and stay on the cusp of the cutting edge towards playoffs. They got that win. They're only one back from 6th place now. So I think they should continue to push those boundaries, embrace the new champions, the champions that have been changed a lot, and definitely push the tempo.
And while teams have been juggling the balance between refinement and experimentation here, even at this point in the season, Team Liquid, the one team that we'd concede didn't need to change things up too much, has continued to evolve their own style.
Yeah, I mean, they used the Caitlyn Lux bottom lane that was used so effectively against them.
Yeah.
And it made CoreJJ and Doublelift even more scary. CoreJJ himself was in the running last week for Player of the Week, and he only ended up losing it to Doublelift, his lane partner, as they dominated so heavily. Now, they may be trying these new champions this split, but they continue to play their own style, staying with their strengths. Doublelift also talked a little bit about their style and about how they tried to really speed it up after MSI, but maybe went a little bit too far, and they're dialing it back a little bit, adding some control in.
Well, we are into Champion Select now. Let's see how the teams go about things here, as Irelia will be the first ban from TL. Clutch Gaming going to respond by taking away some of the save pressure and some of that global pressure applied by the Tom Kent, should they pick that one up for CoreJJ.
Yeah, Irelia has been one of the most banned champions on I-13. A lot of the changes to a bunch of the flexible solo lane picks that were more scary and assassin-like have been targeted here. They're also taking off the Qiyana from Damonte, so you can tell they don't want any of these surprising, diving all-in champions in the hands of Clutch, because that's where Clutch have succeeded.
Yeah, I feel like the Qiyana ban coming out in the first round seems very much respect-worthy for Team Liquid, paying those respects to Clutch Gaming. We have seen Qiyana banned, but a lot of times it is in second half, giving your opponents the chance to go for it first sometimes. Jarvan going to be the next ban here from Team Liquid. And the one thing I'm noticing immediately, Kobe, Sona, Yuumi, Karma, all these enchanters that have drawn so much ire in the ban phase have all made it through so far.
Yeah, Team Liquid targeting the mid laners and the flex picks, as well as some junglers, leaving the bottom lane wide open. Clutch are trying to whittle that down. You see them targeting CoreJJ here. Tom Kent and Morgana bans, taking away some of those supports, but they throw in the Jace as well, that lane bully. Here's one of your supporter champions you're talking about with the heals and shields, Captain Flowers. Yuumi is still one of the best down there. A lot of poke damage comes out early on, and it is a little bit akin to the Caitlyn Lux strategy that Team Liquid used last weekend, where you can have a high-pressure bottom lane from the very beginning of the game.
Works good with an AD carry that can make some outplays. We know Doublelift's the kind of guy to do just that. And Yuumi also has incredible synergy with champions that like to dive into the back lines. We've seen how good that champion can be when it's tethered to someone who's aggressively moving forward and has the support of the Yuumi for the healing, the shielding, and of course the lockdown from the ult. But now, Clutch still has plenty of things to choose from. They're going to get the signature Rumble pick for Huni, and they'll grab the Lux early on.
And we can analyze this a little bit deeper too with Clutch, because we know that Clutch like to play an early game win lane sort of style. And if you see double AP lock-ins in the first round for Clutch with the Rumble as a solo laner and the Lux probably as the support, I think that they're going to have some AD threat maybe there for Damonte, even with Aurelia and Kiana both banned. Maybe he has another one of these surprising attack damage threats for the mid lane. As well as Cody Sun, I would expect him to try and pick up some sort of lane bully down there. He talked about trying to really put the pressure on their opponents early on.
Well, we're not going to see too many surprises in terms of the enchanters because they have all been picked up now. The Yuumi, the Lux, that Karma has been picked up. The only one that hasn't been grabbed by either side is the Sona because Team Liquid and Clutch both opted into more traditional bottom-style lanes. But man, that is a lot of shielding power going to be up here in this game. Sivir versus Lucian in the bottom side.
Yeah, Sivir, Lucian. Gonna be going head-to-head. Lucian definitely gets the advantage there, especially early on. This is what Cody Sun used last weekend as well in their victory. It was 3 high-pressure early pushing lanes for Clutch. So we'll see if Team Liquid try and ban out a couple of those possible threats for Damonte still here in the second round, because Clutch really feel like they've got a mystery card lying in wait. They haven't jumped in and got him anything early. They're saving the counter pick here. Last pick to red side.
Plus, whenever you're up against a team like TL and you're one of those teams that's on the cusp of playoffs, picking up a win that most of your competitors for that spot will probably have racked up as a loss in their own column against a team that sits at the top of the standings gives you a nice edge for being able to eke your way in there at the very end of the split. We'll see if they can make that happen. They have banned out Aatrox and TF. The Olaf banned out by Team Liquid. They don't want Lira having all that early jungle power with that champion. One more ban to go. What's it going to be? Are they going to continue focusing that jungle pool, or will they opt for something a little bit different? Nope, it's jungling, Elise.
Another early one. Rek'Sai definitely still open then. That's a possible early jungler for Lira if they want to continue with this style, heavy ganking. As you're talking about though, you know, the Team Liquid side is a very defensive opening here. They're very defensive showing, and a lot of those are fairly difficult to gank. Sivir with the spell shield, and then also the Yuumi speed ups is hard to keep track of here. Sylas is locked in.
Yep.
That's going to be another jungle Sylas here. Super excited to see that for Lira. Has a lot of scaling potential, really big power spikes on completion of your runic echoes, as well as your proto belt.
And also the massive power spike when you hit level 16. Remember, this is still patch 9.13, so it's not with a massive cooldown nerf on the level 3 ultimate, meaning that champion will be ulting like crazy in these late game fights. Oh, you know you want me. Yeah! All right! That's what I'm talking about. All right, Team Liquid says, all right, you got Sylas, we got something even better.
Let me tell you, ask you, Captain Flowers, as a Skarner connoisseur, have you ever been in a game where you Skarner ulted a Sylas while he tried to Skarner ult you with your own ult?
It just turns into a little bit of tug of war. It's a magical moment, but we are going to see the Corki picked up here as well for the side of Team Liquid. So that means Corki's probably going to be there in the mid lane. And we've got the Zed up against the Corki as well to try to pop him.
That's what we're looking for. I knew that they had a mystery card. They were holding on to it. They first rounded Rumble and Lux, knowing that they've got another AD threat left for Damonte. I hope that they keep it in his hands. Last time around, they switched it to Cody Sun, and they had some lane swapping. But I think Damonte needs his time to shine here on another attack damage assassin.
And I feel almost bamboozled by the hover of Zed earlier because we see it just hovered as a meme so often, especially when they had such a bad game with it with Cody. You're thinking, they're just going to hover it. They'll get the audience excited, maybe bait a couple of fans here. But nope, the Zed is locked in. No time for Resident Sleepers in the chat. I want to see this pop off. We've been seeing so much Corki, so much Azir in the mid lane. People have been wondering, what is the counter to this? How do you deal with the scaling, or do you just play scaling, be scaling all day long? Well, Clutch says, nope, we're going to try to cut him down early, get that assassin rolling.
And it does hinge a lot on those early plays. You have to get going, because if you do not, it's so hard to assassinate people. Through a Karma shield, through a Yuumi healing your target, it can get very frustrating as these assassins. Plus, he has to worry about jumping in and getting ulted by Skarner. That puts a very big damper on most assassin gameplay.
Skarner is actually incredibly effective against assassins. I actually like playing him the most in assassin metas because the problem of running after guys is pretty easily solved when the guys run at you. All you have to do is sit on top of the carry and keep them protected. But we're on to the Rift here for game number 4 of the day. And as the players make their way out onto the Rift, Cody Sun earlier today shared Clutch's strategy to collect wins towards the end of the split.
I think for us, because we're kind of this newer team and this mix of like different players from different eras, we're gonna try to make the game a fiesta and then just thrive in the fiesta, and hopefully we can make some unpredictable play to kind of catch them off guard.
Clutch wants a fiesta, and I've got my party hat on after they've locked in the Zed. This is one of my favorite champions to watch in pro play because there's so many cool things you can do with it, so many cool outplays, and I hope Damonte has been practicing up on it.
I'm very glad that we got this game. We are both fiesta lovers, and
yes, sir.
Let's get into it with Clutch. They wanted it, and we're gonna get another one here. Lux and Lucian on a ward, though. See if Doublelift and CoreJJ go try and get a little Spell Thief's money off of them, as well as some good damage.
Yeah, that's some nice poke. The thing about the Lux Shield, very strong once both halves of it apply, but considering you have a delay, if they can burst you down pretty quickly there with the boomerang blades into the prowling projectiles, makes it easy to win out on that snappy trade. Cody Sun and Vulcan will be forced back here, and I want to see how CoreJJ looks on the Yuumi. We've just not got to see too much of the champion overall because it's so permanently banned. I'm excited to see how this works.
Huge harassment out of the Team Liquid bottom lane already, and we kind of talked about it on Champion Select, how Team Liquid have been trying to draft these very powerful early high-pressure bottom lanes for CoreJJ and Doublelift now. Given that early ward, giving them the advantage of 100 HP coming into lane, it is going to be non-stop barrages down here from skill shots. Doublelift and CoreJJ landing most of them here in the early game.
And we know how oppressive the Yuumi can be, too. Once you're on the back foot against this champion, the Prowling Projectile will just keep moving forward as long as the ally Yuumi's attached to can also keep moving forward with it. Gives you an incredible amount of chase potential. As mid lane, Jensen will be able to get the better of Damonte here early on until the Zed has a couple of levels to try to get some better trades against the ranged opponent.
And this is one of the reasons I was kind of expecting the Rek'Sai for the jungle for Clutch Gaming, trying to go super all in on early game ganking. Sylas definitely can go for level 3 ganks as well and could make a pass mid, but that's what Damonte kind of has to wait for. The Zed looks for an all-in with your Ignite to try and get an early kill on the Corki when the jungler comes.
Bottom side is just continuing to beat his Doublelift and CoreJJ skill shot palooza as it's Prowling Projectile into Boomerang Blade over and over and over again. Vulcan and Cody Sun will have to try to dodge these, but man, it is hard.
It is a one-sided party so far, and it is literally just CoreJJ and Doublelift throwing everything they have at Cody Sun under this turret. It's also denied a decent amount of CS to that turret, so they're getting rewards beyond the health bars that they're chunking down.
Speaking of getting chunked, Damonte continuing to eat that damage from the Phosphorus Bomb and the auto attacks coming out of Jensen's Corki. Again, Corki sort of just making his way into the meta along with the Azir, these two big scaling mid laners kind of just becoming the mark of what you have to deal with in the current iteration of the meta. As the junglers will both be on to the Scuttle Crabs now. Xmithie on the top side, bottom side occupied by Lira. See if that vision plays much of a difference here, or if Lira decides to make something happen in the mid lane.
And Lira did about 30 seconds ago proc that Scryer's Bloom. You saw it on your mini-map, Scryer's Bloom. It actually just shot up from the bottom side. Now he's going for the gank, actually, on bottom side.
Binding finds its way on a Doublelift. Good block comes out from CoreJJ, though, leaves Doublelift from the attach to block the stun. Speaking of stuns, it's top side, Xmithie locking down Huni, forcing out the flash.
Bunch of summoner spells blown. Both teams have to keep track of these. Top side been focused by Team Liquid, and they did get Huni's. But also on the bottom side, Cody Sun aggressively flashed there with the Lucian, and that can be punished as well. So both top and bottom are possible areas for Xmithie. Here we go, though. Another binding hits.
More bindings, more damage. Cody Sun and Vulcan feeling more comfortable in this lane now after the assistance they got from the gank, putting Doublelift and CoreJJ on the back foot. Yuumi never has a flash to begin with, and now that Doublelift has spent his, Team Liquid has to be really mindful of their positioning in this bottom lane.
Definitely true, especially considering early ward investment by the side of Clutch Gaming on the bottom end of the map. They've got Control Ward plus Scuttle Crab plus the Tri-Ward Brush there. Gonna keep their aggressive pushing bottom side. well informed. Actually, Xmithie just passes over it, goes back to backtrack and take out that control ward.
And you can see the question mark ping down there from Clutch Gaming as they're saying, all right, he's clearing that one out, so we aren't going to have any vision going forward on where this guy is at. Level 4 on both junglers still.
And here's where you look for possible all-ins in Zed matchups. Damonte is about to hit level 6, has gotten his first recall off to get the serrated Dirk. You need that lethality for when you go for your all-in with your level 6 death mark.
Yep.
As soon as you can get that, you get a jungle gank. This is where kills can actually come through because a good Zed will be able to save it for the flash and still be able to follow their lane opponent. All they need is a little help from the jungler to start it off. Xmithie passing over a ward might allow Clutch to get into position.
Doesn't look like they'll be maneuvering too much just yet. Xmithie moves in, drops the control ward at the enemy blue buff. Vulcan walking over is going to see where he was, but Xmithie will take the blast cone out, also denying that for future gank paths that may come in from Lira. Doublelift and CoreJJ once again setting up shop below this tier 1 turret. Pretty easy for them to work on some plate money down here, but Lira and Damonte are in the bottom half of the river. The point is not yet capturable. It does have a delay between captures on when you can go for it again. Lira is going to wait that out and back on top of it to make sure he captures that away, keeps it away from Xmithie. But back in this bottom lane, it's business as usual.
Running past the ward.
Lira wants to make it happen. Over the control ward he goes, but Vulcan is low HP on this one. Doublelift and CoreJJ. Still no flash on Doublelift. Exhaust available for CoreJJ, but that is it. Prowling projectile fired off, and Team Liquid has an easy time disengaging.
Yeah, they're able to kite long enough, and with no deep vision onto Xmithie, the Skarner, the counter gank there would be devastating. So good call by Clutch Gaming not to force that too hard, even though they had a ward in the side brush to try and see that and go all in on Doublelift. They had no intelligence as to where Xmithie was, and a possible roam from Jensen would be devastating.
And as we've been focusing a lot on the bottom half of the map here early on, I want to turn attention towards the top side real quick to comment on the Karma, because this is a champion that we see have some different build paths, some different opportunities depending on the game. Sometimes it's really poke heavy, sometimes it's more of a supportive role. But with the Chalice on Impact, we will see more of that supportive role, at least at the start of the build during the early and mid game from this champion. And honestly, when you've got a Corki and a Sivir to do the damage, I like this.
Yeah, and they also talked in the last game about the Karma with the Athenes. Magic resist early on from your Chalice feels quite nice. Huni so far has been pushing and doing a very good job on that Rumble because they've gotten multiple sightings of Xmithie earlier. Now they have no idea that he is on the Dragon. Pushing bottom lane should secure it for Team Liquid. Doublelift and CoreJJ have retained control of this lane so effectively that it does earn you pretty free objectives. As far as the Ocean Drake being picked up, Xmithie should be able to finish it. Here comes Sylas, though. Can Lira get in there?
Lira's making his way towards the pit. He goes after it, but he's not able to secure it. He does grab the ultimate from Xmithie. TP's coming in now from both sides. Lira looking to maybe make a grab if he can do it. Remember, Xmithie's not even level 6. The real Skarner ultimate is not available. Only the clone is there. Doublelift popping the spell shield, getting himself away. Summoner spell is going to be used here by Team Liquid to disengage a little bit. The heal coming out from CoreJJ just to make sure they all got away in time. And nothing else comes of that except for that Drake. But now Impact may be in some trouble here in the mid lane. Ignite plus the Shuriken. He'll burn away. And first blood goes to Damonte.
Kill for Damonte on the assassin mid lane. It's not on his lane opponent, but he'll take it. Takes down the top laner here. Impact using both summoner spells in that fight. Teleported down to answer it. Vulcan here is still on mid, trying to make a pass at Jensen.
Really hard to do much of anything while the Valkyrie is up, though. Of course, you can very easily get away from any sort of a skill shot you might fire after him. And Jensen is just going to move up in the 1v2 against these guys. Let's see how it looks now that Huni makes his way into the mix with Xmithie here, though, and that ultimate now armed and ready. Clutch Gaming decided to back away.
All right, that was a much-needed kill for Clutch Gaming because they just expended everything getting down to this Dragon after Team Liquid had already taken the Dragon. Here's another look at how it happened. Impact was trying to clear that ward. Flash in from Damonte, able to land the death mark. Both Qs hits. Ignite goes on at the end to secure it as well.
And you could see the Shuriken above Impact's head. For those that may have forgotten, because it's been a while since we've seen Zed, Shuriken above your head means you die as soon as it pops. But Impact shielded himself at the end to try to bait out the, oh, I think I've got the kill, I'll go for the fadeaway. Cool guys don't look at explosions. Unfortunately, Damonte was ready to throw everything down to secure it. Ignite finishes him off. He outplays the mental outplay and earns himself that first kill. You can see has the ingredients for the first lethality item in inventory here. And you can't really go wrong with lethality stackers by just throwing in extra long swords whenever you can afford them. You're going to need 14 of them or something to finish your build, so easy choice.
And there's a fairly low cooldown on Deathmark early on, even for Zed, so he should continue to look to attack members of Team Liquid that do not have flashes. Currently, that is only Impact and technically CoreJJ, but Yuumi's don't really count there.
Nah,
Take a look at this wraparound gank from Lira. Sylas slipping into the brush here. They want to attack Impact with no flash still. Will they go for a possible dive, though? That seems a bit risky against the Karma. With a lot of shielding, it can get very frustrating. And as you point out as well, the stopwatches are all online.
Makes it very difficult to pull off that kind of a dive, but Lira is waiting in
Oh!
so patiently, waits for him all the way, finds the chains, looking for the chain CC follow-up. There comes your Rumble ulti over the wall. Huni's not there in time, but he's gonna go all the way in. The flash makes a move, but there's the stopwatch. You cannot underestimate it. It's a 1-for-1, almost a 1-for-2.
Captain Flowers, I feel like I know this very well because you give me the PSA every single game.
Yeah.
Always check your opponent's inventory for active stopwatches, and Clutch Gaming go for the dive. As you pointed out, boom, it is there to save Karma. So Impact survives long enough to get a counter kill in a 2v1. That means bottom side of the map is very, very open for Team Liquid to push ahead, and they get the tower.
The first month after those runes came out, I feel like I ended it every other game to a stopwatch that I forgot existed. It has been burned into my mind as something you must keep track of. The bottom side, Team Liquid getting that first turret money, getting all the plates associated with it. They're 2,000 gold ahead here against Clutch Gaming. Jensen will continue pushing up here in mid lane. We'll see if Vulcan can come around to make some sort of a pass. But with Impact showing up behind, this is a 2v2. CG doesn't win.
All right, Jensen been firing away, gets one of the turret plates off of that mid turret. They're actually swapping lanes as well. As you see, Doublelift was able to teleport in with the Yuumi attached. You get a 2-for-1 on that. Here's Impact walking in to face check. Lira is going to be able to get away because there's a big heal there that will stack up the tether for Karma, has the shield. Is able to shield and bait Huni further under the tower. You see how long Impact waited to actually activate his trap card until Huni's very deep under the tower, ensuring his death. In the end, Lira does go for the kill to at least get the 1-for-1 for Clutch, but he also has to flash out.
Greed is a deadly sin and patience is a virtue. Means Team Liquid makes a 1-for-1 on a play that looked like it would otherwise favor CG. And now we're on to the Shelly games. 1.5 minutes left before the plates go down. Means if either team wants to get the extra benefit from that, they'll have to secure the Rift Herald early and then drop it rather quickly afterwards too. Skarner Spire secured by the side of Clutch Gaming means Xmithie's going to feel significantly weaker around this objective until they can recapture that. Clutch Gaming has a lot of bodies around this point, and they do not want to concede that objective to TL, but Team Liquid says, all right, whatever, we'll just go for the turret directly.
Doublelift and CoreJJ, big strengths here for Team Liquid. They dominated the bottom half of the map for the first 13 minutes after teleporting up top. Team Liquid trying to move their power around here. All of Clutch grouped up in the tri-brush on that control ward, kind of waiting for a play here. Let's see if they go for it inside the Rift Herald pit.
Both junglers also have a Skarner ult ready to go. If anybody's out of position, they will quickly find themselves captured and bursted down. Shelly getting impatient, running away. All right, back home. Shelly's just playing Ring Around the Rosie here, and everybody's just trying to wait for her to despawn, I think. Or at least wait for the plates to despawn so you can't get the bonus value out of her, I should say.
Meanwhile, on the bottom half of the map, Impact has been able to push all the way into the turret, so that does occupy Huni for now, and his teleport is ready. Huni's got a couple more seconds on his, but Team Liquid have a few seconds of desynced teleport timers. They're trying to force the Rift Herald on it. Here come the teleports.
TP from Clutch Gaming means Team Liquid has to head away from this one. Shelly's going to stay aggro. We'll see if Clutch Gaming are able to secure the Rift Herald instead. We just get a leash from Team Liquid on this one, but TL's not willing to walk away from it. It's going to turn into a full-on team fight. Equalizer comes down. Doublelift's going to be eating a little bit of damage, having to flash away now. Xmithie in danger. Goes into the stopwatch, keeping himself alive, having to continue to disengage now as Lira comes right back into the mix, but he's going to be killed. Doublelift with the damage, and Lira goes in alone and falls.
The Skarner gets the last laugh there. Lira wanted to be a hero, goes in to finish off the low health member, but immediately activates the Skarner ultimate, and that will be Team Liquid then rotating to mid lane here to finish up this turret. Jensen been able to farm up his full Trinity Force, and along with Doublelift at his side, they will melt it.
Well, Clutch Gaming got the ability to maybe take a turret with the Rift Herald, but in response, they traded away a kill and the ability to definitely take a turret in the fact that Team Liquid took a turret.
Yeah.
So wouldn't exactly say that one went in their favor overall, but Damonte is patiently waiting in this brush up here in top lane to see if maybe he can get a kill.
Yeah, I feel like you'd always take a turret now over a Rift Herald for later. Meanwhile, Damonte on the top side, able to push in impact on the Zed. He's level 10. Still has the extra gold advantage with that one kill. Ghostblade completed now, so some more mobility for this assassin, but not a lot of super viable targets. Bottom side, they are going to try and trade here for the Cloud Drake. Predator activated from Xmithie, but he's outnumbered, so that would be a risky move.
Outnumbered and no ultimate means the Skarner threat is severely lower compared to what it normally is. But Xmithie just walks right into the Drake pit. It's going to be slain by Clutch Gaming regardless. Skarner has to flash over the wall to keep himself alive, and the shutdown onto Doublelift goes to Damonte. Clutch Gaming with a big win in that one.
Yeah, that was a little bit scattered here. Now they're continuing with an in-bin. They find Jensen.
They are not done yet. Jensen disengaging there. CoreJJ ulti going to be helping out with that when Shelly summoned up here in the mid lane. Equalizer used to dissuade Team Liquid from moving in time. Shelly's going to continue putting auto attacks into that one, and with 5 members from Clutch Gaming, they'll try to secure the rest of it. A couple more auto attacks should do the trick, and there you go. Clutch Gaming on the board for objectives.
That was pretty big for Damonte to get another kill here on the Zed. He'll be able to get another serrated Dirk item, funding his lethality armory. Let's take a look here. Doublelift walked over the ward, so you see on your screen, Damonte just goes right for him. One combo from the Zed. He had no flash, so he was completely dead. Also, at the same time, Lira had a very nice smite steal on the actual objective. So even though Team Liquid had to teleport in from Jensen, who has package and the Yuumi, you know, a very powerful transition for him over to the bottom half of the map. Clutch Gaming play really well around that power, and the package really doesn't earn Team Liquid anything. Clutch Gaming definitely needed that small victory because Team Liquid currently ahead and scaling very nicely with their Corki and their Sivir.
And Clutch Gaming isn't one of these teams that typically bleeds out a ton in the early game either. Last week, I believe, was the first time they had actually lost a turret pre-15 minutes. And in this game, they've already lost 2. That third one taken down now by Jensen. So Team Liquid showing exactly what the difference between going up against them and going up against some of the other competition in the LCS looks like. Clutch Gaming's really going to need to step it up.
And this does also answer the question that some people have been having about why has the meta developed into the Corki and Azirs in mid lane, because those are the best damage scaling mid lane champions for your team fights. Corki now past the Trinity Force, once you start to get a couple more items on it, the damage output from the Corki and the Sivir is going to be amazing during the team fights for Team Liquid. And then they have a bunch of support champions around those 2 hard carries.
Yeah.
Xmithie in the front line to tank, and then 2 shielders from Impact and CoreJJ.
Impact showing no signs of working towards a more AP-focused typical solo laner build. Instead, just wants to continue supporting those 2 big carries. Ardent Sensor completed now. You can apply that to everybody on the team with a mantra Inspire if you want to. Also, having that Athenes we already mentioned earlier means mana and extra shields are going to be easy things for him to manage. As over the wall goes Vulcan with the flash. Xmithie going to be caught out here, and that is 1 dead Scorpion. Lira makes sure it happens. That's kill number 4 for Clutch.
Big play there from Vulcan. Uses his flash to get the kill. What can they get on the map for it, though?
Yeah.
Bottom turret is probably the best target, as there's a minion wave fairly close. Huni does head down there, but nobody else from Clutch comes, so I don't know how successfully he'll be able to finish it off. It looks like Impact is thinking about sticking around and defending it here with Karma. So Clutch Gaming might not get an objective, even though they expend the flash to get that pick. They definitely need to utilize the time where they have power play options.
Right, I mean, that's Vulcan's flash. That's a huge part of your ability to initiate on a team that honestly doesn't have a lot of initiation mechanisms. You look at your AD carry, mid lane, and solo lane positions, no engage there. Yeah, you've got the ability to steal an ulti with the Sylas and go in with something like a Skarner ult, but you really need those flash bindings, and spending that to not get anything aside from the 300 gold on Skarner's head, not the best outcome here for Clutch Gaming. At least it is that kill that keeps them a little bit further ahead, but still plenty of work to do here up against Team Liquid as Xmithie farms up. We're almost to the point of the game where Baron is relevant, which means we will see the teams focusing around this top half of the river here soon.
And that was actually very important that Clutch Gaming try and get a turret off of that kill, because they're the team that really does need to take down the Team Liquid defenses to force them into scattered formations so that Damonte can actually make use of the assassin here. You know, Zed wants 1v1s in the side lanes. Zed does not want a team fight versus a team that has AoE shields and a Skarner that's looking to sting him. So it's very, very important, even more so than normal compositions, for Clutch to actually get these two last standing outer turrets down. Top and bottom are actually still fairly healthy for Team Liquid. So Team Liquid's game plan is actually going quite well for themselves, as they've got 2 items already on Doublelift, 1.5 there for Jensen, almost about to complete that Infinity Edge.
Going straight for the damage options now as Clutch Gaming gonna find themselves getting engaged on, but Xmithie quickly having to flash out defensively. He's in some trouble. Damonte goes after him, but he's a little bit too late. The shields doing exactly what they do to shut down Zed's plan. Jensen grabs a kill on the back end of the fight, and Team Liquid come out on top.
Jensen goes in with a package there. He's able to touch him with the end and get off the auto. Now it's Team Liquid with their power play. 5v4 headed up mid lane. Clutch trying to get in defensive position.
Clutch Gaming, they managed to get 2 people up there near that tier 2 turret, but the other 2 are gonna be stuck in the jungle, and that means Team Liquid take down turret number 4.
And now there is a Cloud Drake they can retreat to. Try and even up the move speed bonuses here. Xmithie goes straight forward. He's gonna start it up while the rest of the team holds off Huni. Forces the flash.
Yeah, no flash on your Rumble means less kill potential when you go towards those backline members that might survive with just a little bit of HP. And that last fight showed us just how good this Team Liquid composition is at being deceptively tanky. It earns them the mid lane turret, it earns them their kill, and it earns them this Cloud Drake on top of it. Let's take another look at how it went down.
All right. Xmithie goes in on Skarner, looking for the all-in. You talked about the Yuumi speed boost, but nice binding from Vulcan initially stops the initiation. And then all the shields there save Xmithie, so Damonte goes back in to try and finish the job. He ulted Doublelift there on the Sivir, but it was such a big answer. Doublelift got off the Boomerang Blade, huge chunk, as well as the auto from Jensen with Trinity Force proc, allowing him to go all in onto the Assassin. Uses the package there to get in position, slows him and tags him with the edge, plus the extra auto to finish off the counter kill. Meanwhile, Team Liquid's double supports of Impact and CoreJJ keep Xmithie alive.
Damonte is going to be found out here in this top half of the river. With Xmithie nearby, Damonte knows he can't try any sort of a fancy outplay. As soon as you even go towards anyone at all,
fancy runaway though.
You can do, yeah, you can throw your arms behind you and Naruto run straight to area 51 instead of top lane, because you're not going to make anything happen up here.
Meanwhile, Doublelift back to mid lane here. Sivir trying to wave clear as usual.
Which honestly isn't too
Protect the
hard
secrets,
when you're
Flowers, protect the
2.5
secrets.
item Sivir. The secret to winning here against Clutch Gaming for Team Liquid is just clear out all the minions, scale up, waiting for that late game, and it's working out pretty well for them. I mean, honestly, Clutch Gaming have been ahead in kills the entirety of this match, but Team Liquid has always been in command of the gold. The gold graph just likely looking like a steep cliff at this point. Well, I guess more of a gradual incline, more of a hill, you know, a hike, maybe I guess we'll call it. But Clutch Gaming have got to find some sort of a way to make these plays happen. But as I already said earlier, the engage tools are so limited for this squad. When they're not ahead, things feel kind of like they're out of their course.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to use some sneaky tactics here, hiding in the brush, looking for lone members of Team Liquid separated from the pack. But they haven't been able to take advantage, even with all these control wards in defensive placement. That's the right idea, you know, that's the setup. And Damonte was up there on the top side looking again for a possible opening on Jensen. Isn't able to find it in time though, and now Team Liquid starts to do the dirty work. They're clearing out all these control wards. Xmithie goes in!
Xmithie trying to find that ulti, was not able to make it happen in time. I believe you heard the voice, but he wasn't able to get the pull. Now he's got it anyway. There goes Huni! He's taken down. Doublelift grabs the kill money, and now Clutch Gaming are on the run. Will they grab anybody else? The Yuumi ulti wants to find one, but it just can't quite get that third hit. Team Liquid's gonna chase them all away. They grab the flash out of both the enemy jungler and AD carry. We'll see what else they want to decide to go for now. Still 5 men strong. They've got priority over this top half of the jungle. Impact leading the charge. The Yuumi bouncing around between whichever member is most pertinent. Cody Sun going to be in some trouble now. Root finding its way down, and he is blown up. With the AD carry out of the picture, things just keep coming up Team Liquid, and the push keeps going.
You thought Yuumi was scary when attached to Doublelift. That was Yuumi attached to Impact. The double support squad takes down the enemy AD carry. Now they're trying to fend for themselves in the jungle. Damonte's lying in wait here, but Team Liquid won't take the bait. They go for the objectives. They pushed in the top lane. Jensen's already on the inhibitor turret up there. He dealt with the outer one already. That leaves the mid window right open.
No reason to run around on a nature walk through the jungle when you can just knock on the front door of the base here. Mid lane tier 3 turret nearly eliminated. Top lane turret taking a little bit of damage here from Jensen as well. Clutch Gaming finally with 5 bodies alive on their own side again are able to repel Team Liquid, but this was a serious bonus for how far ahead Team Liquid was earlier compared to now. They made a lot of headway here.
All right, Damonte doing the dangerous job of heading into the jungle to try and clear out all their vision. One of the benefits of going with the full lethality build, get some easy ward clearing. That's the #1 priority here for Clutch. They're trying to keep some sort of vision around Baron because they know this may be their last hope. If Team Liquid comes knocking on that door, fully decked out in purple,
you're done.
Lined up with 5 people, you are done. There's no way you can get in the middle and try and assassinate through all these defenses. So it has to be in one of these more scattered formations, trying to take advantage of someone out of line.
Team Liquid has done a good job so far of not allowing those sorts of errors. Remember, although Team Liquid are at the top of the table, currently #1, they are a back-to-back-to-back champions, they have some issues during regular season play of losing games randomly that you would not think of them to lose. They don't have that invincibility factor that top teams often do. Oh, are we gonna?
It's just Huni, so he's
I don't think he's gonna do any kind of an ambush down here. I don't think Assassin Rumble is gonna make too many moves onto Corki here.
Especially not with the package.
No.
That's basically a free escape.
Or a free turn around and assassinate the Rumble. I mean, you just drop the bomb right on him. I mean, Huni's right here.
You lose faith in the Assassin Rumble.
Oh, well, Assassin Rumble's coming around from behind. Equalizer gets dropped down. Jensen, the rest of Team Liquid in retreat. Huni's gonna be taken low. He gets popped. Damonte moves forward. That's what I'm talking about. You do not assassinate when Skarner is right there. Vulcan's run down next. Double kill, double lift. Lira's going to be out of the picture here soon. Jensen goes on a killing spree. And Team Liquid get 4 for nothing.
Yep, they're coming to knock it, and the door is wide open. Bottom lane will go down. Team Liquid looking to end it.
No reason to even knock. Just kick the sucker down and keep on marching. Nexus Turret's the next target here for TL. What are you gonna do when you're Cody Sun? Doublelift said he was looking to see more out of him. He's not gonna see it today. The Nexus already about to fall 28 minutes into this game. Team Liquid showcasing why they're #1. Clutch Gaming gonna drop here. They'll run out of the fountain, but is there really a whole lot you can do? Team Liquid seem to be just hanging around to pad the numbers here a little bit more. Cody Sun falls. Damonte is gonna be going into the stasis. Huni goes down next. Rampage up to Jensen. And the minions say enough of this. Nexus goes home. Clutch Gaming goes home. Team Liquid grabs a win.
10-3 now for Team Liquid. The 3-time defending champions have turned it on. After the first couple losses early on in summer, kind of finding their way and making adjustments, trying to learn from MSI, they have dialed right back into the tried and true strategies. Scaling backline damage from mid and bottom, supported by multiple champions and a front line in there, leads to a very, very secure victory for the squad.
And from the beginning of Champion Select, I was curious how this game was going to play out because we got to see the 3 champions in the Lux and the Karma and the Yuumi that are all so often banned. And when Team Liquid gets to have 2 out of 3 of those and just say, nope, you are dedicated Jensen and Doublelift hand-holding, you are making sure they are comfy, they've got a mint on their pillow when they wake up in the morning, and they can carry however they please, that's what you get, and that's the kind of carry performance I want to see.
Mints every single morning. Gotta keep them happy.
On the spot.
Honestly, I have a lot of respect for the style that Clutch are going for, right? That's why at the beginning we were talking about, I hope that they continue to try this style, continue to try and push it early to see if they can find openings in other ways.
Well, they found the openings that got them the win this game, and Liquid did, I should say. Clutch Gaming still got a little bit more to work on, but for more on how Team Liquid secured the win here for themselves, we're going to send things back over to the State Farm Analyst Desk.
Thank you very much, Captain Flowers. Before we get into it, we got to welcome Broken Blade to the desk to help us break this one down. Normally, we would jump right into, the macro strategy or the team comps. How did this team win, or what did this team do improperly? I want to start by just looking at an awesome play. CoreJJ. There's a reason why we continue to talk about this guy, from MVP of last split to playmaker of this one, down in the bot lane, saving his AD carry with a heads-up play.
This is so insane, how quick of a reaction it is. He doesn't see Lira coming down here. He goes to protect, and then mid-air, after it's already coming to him, he disjoints it by hopping off and collecting it so Doublelift has time to flash out. Otherwise, he's CC'd up and killed right away. So that is the difference between my bot lane dying and maybe losing their lead and, we're okay, we can stabilize. That was insane.
I mean, it is. It's incredible to see that kind of mechanical heads-up play. And I think it results in exactly this, right? The ability of Doublelift and CoreJJ to outplay certain moments is what makes them so scary as a bot lane and ultimately build leads like this.
Yeah, I think they definitely had the better bot lane draft for TL. And just absorbing this kind of pressure is really, really insane because this leads, they made a play topside and Rumble got behind off that play because Sylas was making play bot, but TL bot lane absorbed the pressure and they got a lead on top side, which was really insane from TL's bot lane, I think.
I'm sure you can speak to this, just having played against TL a number of times at this point. It makes it so difficult then to develop an attack strategy for this team because you assume a certain level of execution from each of their players just by virtue of being good individually at the game. And so then how do you put them on a composition that, that their mechanics and abilities can't cover for, let alone the fact that they end up on Yuumi Sivir of all things, so you didn't even put them on a poor bot lane duo. What's going on with that?
I don't know. It's just the first pick Rumble doesn't do it for me when you leave up so many power picks like the Karma and Yuumi and you don't grab any of them. And Lux is strong, but feels like a tier below.
At least Clutch has an identity, right?
Sure.
The identity is the most difficult compositions to execute for the most part, which
should that be the identity of a team that is tied for 7th?
They are zeroing in on something, and if it's a matter of refining it and needing the practice, I mean, they've had a lot of practice. It's still not there, but it's looking better. The Zed got kills this time around versus the last time that it was Zed, so listen, no matter how much we say, they're still sticking to it.
You're not going to make this Clutch Gaming comp sound good to me. But what you have made clear to me is the difficulty of execution for this composition, which, again, gets highlighted to an extreme against a team that doesn't make as many mistakes as your average team would. We jump right into top lane dive from Clutch Gaming. Broken Blade, I want you to help me break this one down because I think there was opportunity for this to turn out better.
This was really unclear to me what was happening in the game because Rumble was going to the Herald, warding it, while Lira was in the bush waiting for Karma to be there. But when Karma face checked the bush, Rumble was not ready to punish that. And I think there was a very, very big mistake in the game, which caused a lot of problems later on because they're using a lot of sums and resources for the top lane dive, but it was a 1-for-1 trade, and it was just very unsynced by.
I think it was forced because when we were watching that, you were saying they can't dive her. She's got stopwatch, and beyond that, she's got the magic resistance from the chalice. So it's very true that they didn't want to go for the gank, and she just faces like, I might as well try to kill her, I guess, even though we're not in position. And even if you knock her down, it's the least important member of the team. It's Karma top. It's not the composition at all.
Yeah, and the fact that play took place at 10 minutes, again, to me, speaks to the desperation that Clutch was already feeling, right? This idea that they needed a lead, they needed a gold advantage at that point in the game to feel comfortable moving into more of the team fight phases. Let's jump ahead just 4 minutes to around the Rift Herald, where Team Liquid has been positioned for maybe 2-3 minutes now at this point. Clutch looking for the right kind of fight and still struggling to find it.
I mean, this is why they wanted that gold lead, is how much harder it is for them to find kills. You have the Karma speed up, the Sivir speed up, the heals. kills, the shields, and so even though Xmithie kind of gets cut off from retreating from the Rumble equalizer and isolated out, the Yuumi on top of him buying space with the ultimate, he's still getting CC'd up, but finally some last-minute heals come in as well. He just turns around, grabs Lira in for a kill.
So unnecessary for him to go in. You just got the Rift Herald. You could have just eat out.
Yeah, I mean, they thought they could get kills because it's 300 HP, no stopwatch, you know, Skarner, and you think you can get that kill, but there's just too much utility on Team Liquid's side.
Broken Blade, this is a huge and maybe impossible question to answer, but where in this game would you, like, what if you had to pick one thing to have done entirely differently for Clutch here, given these drafts, and pick any point in the game, like, what would have been something you would have tried, or you would have called for trying?
I think Clutch has to snowball the game in order to win because they clearly got outdrafted, I have to say. I would go a lot into mid lane 2v2s because that is their pick into Corki, their last pick into Corki, and if that pick does not snowball, they will not win the game because the only identity in this comp was team fighting, but they still got, TL still had a better team fight because, I mean, how can you team fight against Karma, Sivir, Yuumi? It's just too hard, and if they can't snowball, it's just very hard to win at that point.
So an idea that we were talking about was your jungler can go into the mid lane and just burn his own flash to force a gank. It's not going to yield a kill, but what you do is you trade flashes. So now Jensen loses flash against Damonte. Now he has to be stuck in the lane against an assassin that has ignite and his own flash. So the kill threat is a lot bigger, and it makes the laning phase a lot easier for Zed because he's melee against range. So now he can't be harassed as much since Corki has to be a lot more careful since he has no summoner. So your jungler sacrifices a little bit of himself to get his laners ahead.
Yeah, and Damonte had picked up the first kill for the team, so with a little bit of that gold in the pocket, maybe set up to really take off if things were positioned in that way.
Yeah, I mean, the scary thing was the rest of the replays, the whole rest of the game looked like the one that we showed where it's like someone on TL gets really low and then gets all the shields and heals and then they're fine. And that's, if you have just a little bit more damage, maybe you can punch through before the second shield and all those other things start coming on top. But it didn't happen. Just fight after fight broke out the same way where one person gets low, gets topped off, and then you have a couple of those in a row and suddenly the game's over.
I think that is important to know, you know, what you're saying there, the idea that with just a little bit more damage, if things had tipped in that direction of Clutch, we could very be easily having a different conversation here if they went off to the races, right? But again, that's kind of the difficulty of handing one of these compositions over to Team Liquid is that when you don't get that lead, you're doomed.
And I gotta say, when we have so much Yuumi in action and the likes of Karma coming in, we might need to start looking at the healing that was done throughout these games because it's so impactful, so even more so than the damage that they're dealing.
Right.
So for us to really get a full idea of the insane value that Yuumi provides.
With Karma coming into the meta more prevalently here, what are your kind of top couple picks lane-wise against her?
Today we saw in the Sylas game, they picked Ryze into Karma. I think that is a very good option into the Karma. It wins after his first base. After Tier or Lost Chapter, you have a really good lane against Karma. But Karma is just right now a very strong champion that has very few counter picks. And it's just, even if you're losing lane, for example, in this game, we saw that Impact was behind like almost like 100 CS, but it doesn't matter once you get to the Athenes and what was the second item?
Did he go Ludens? Ludens Athenes in this one? Or was that the previous one? I'm remembering a Ludens Skarman in my head.
Go on the items.
Pull it up!
Ardent Sensor?
Yeah, Ardent Sensor, yeah.
There you
Once
go.
you get those two items, you basically never have to farm again as Karma and just
Right, you're playing
move up.
support Karma now.
Yeah, you basically are the second support on your team, and then you just out-team fight everyone. It's just, yeah.
Sounds brutal, man. Absolutely sounds brutal. Up next, Echo Fox and Optic are going to battle it out for Game 5, so don't go anywhere.
I was trying to pull up the map.
And nothing else comes of that except for that Drake. But now Impact may be in some trouble here in the mid lane. Ignite plus the Shuriken goes into the stopwatch, keeping himself alive, having to continue to disengage now as Lira comes right back into the mix, but he's going to be killed. Quickly having to flash out defensively. He's in some trouble. Damonte goes after him, but he's a little bit too late. The shields doing exactly what they do to shut down Zed's plan.
I'm good. Rumble behind.
Yeah. I give my touch here.
Okay.
No, ulti Zed.
Keep tasting.
2, 1. I give a shit.
W4.
Rocks.
Vulcan's run down next. Double kill, double lift. Lira's going to be out of the picture here soon. Jensen goes on a killing spree, and Team Liquid get 4 for nothing.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Assist of the Week, presented by State Farm. Everything seemed to be coming up Team Solo mid in their head-to-head against Cloud9. That was until they tried to engage onto C9 and got caught in the perfect kite. Cloud9's bot lane pulled TSM like taffy, spreading them thin in the mid lane, while Skarner approached from the side with his Jarvan, diving onto the squishy carries of TSM. As C9 won the fight, they began playing the marching music, which they would bellow all the way to a nearly impossible to predict victory.